All right, you guys, those who need a little help on this worksheet here for the first day of solving graphing inequalities, I'm going to help you out right now with some of the problems. Take a look. Again, I'm not going to do them all, but I'll give you some hints on some of them. Maybe do an example or two just to get you started. Those first ones say write and graph an inequality that describes the situation. Maybe I'll just do number 3 here to give you an idea what it looks like. Okay, the speed limit on a highway is 60 miles per hour. So what it's saying is when you're driving the highway, right, you can drive up to 60 miles per hour, but if you're going more, then you are speeding. So this one's kind of saying what is the possible miles per hour you could drive on the highway. Okay, I'm going to zoom in here a little bit. You can use whatever variable you want, but I just get used to using X typically, but you could use S for speed or something like that, or L for limit or whatever you want. I'm going to use X. And in this case, we know that 60 is the number that I'm kind of keying on here, right? And I'm going to say, how fast can I drive on the highway? Well, I could drive up to 60 miles an hour, but I can't drive more, right? So that kind of hints to me that it should be less than or equal to. Those are the numbers that I can drive, right? I could drive 59 miles an hour or 40 miles an hour or 45, but I couldn't drive more than 60. Could I drive 60? Could you drive 60 miles an hour? Yes, that is the limit. So notice that is why I did put the equal to sign underneath the less than. So I do think it's less than or equal to in this case. Some cases you will use that, some cases you won't. You just got to read the words carefully and interpret what is this situation trying to describe to you. Okay, but in this case I think it's less than or equal to. Okay, if I'm going to graph it, again, go down here. I've got some number lines for you. I'm going to try to write small here. 60, 59 to be next to that. Ooh, that's not very good. 9. Oh, my numbers, you guys, as always. Okay, 60, 59. I'm going to have to even zoom in a little more. 59, 58. There we go. 61, 62. Okay, this one's greater than or equal to. Oh, sorry, it's less than or equal to up here, as it says. So I want to shade in numbers that are less than or equal to 60. So first I'm going to circle 60, and since it's the equal to, I'm going to fill that circle in. And then if I want numbers that are less than or equal to, I want the numbers that are underneath, right? Those are the miles per hour I could drive, like we talked about 59, 58, or anything lower. And then I'd still be driving the speed limit. All right, so that's what you're going to do on those first ones. And notice there's a number line for each one for you to write the inequality above and then do the graph, okay? Looking at the ones right below that, 6, 7, 8, 9, those want you to just write the inequality that matches the graph. So that first one, number 6, and it could be kind of hard to tell on some of these, but I do look at that and it looks like it's a closed circle. Look at this one here. This one looks like an open circle. So just kind of comparing the two. So if I'm doing number 6, that one looks like a closed circle on -4. Start with your variable. So here's number 6. Start with the variable. Again, I often use X. And then -4 is my key number, so I like to put that in too and then figure out what inequality goes in there. Well, it's shading numbers that are to the left on the number line, like -5, -6. Those numbers are less than -4. And the circle is filled in, so I'm going to use the equal to sign as well. So X, the numbers our solutions are X is less than or equal to -4. Okay, going down a little further in the assignment, 10, 11, 14, 15. Again, the numbers are a little different. Don't worry about so much about that. But there's 4 problems here where you're going to, like the examples in the lesson, if you watch that, solve the inequality and then graph your solution. I'm going to do number 11 here because this is one like we talked about in the lesson. Then notice how the variable's on the right side of the inequality. So I'm going to take this whole thing and I want to flip everything in it. Okay, I'm going to put the 8 plus y on this side. And I'm going to put the -8 on this side, and then my inequality to this will have to turn around because the alligator's supposed to eat that right side. Well, now it's got to eat the left side, right? So it's got to be like this, 8 plus y, and then on the other side is the -8. Okay, I like having the variable on the left. Now I'll go through solving, just like we always do. So here's my variable, and I draw my line. I'll subtract 8 from both sides, it looks like, for this one. 8s will cancel over here, so I get y is greater than or equal to -16. And so again, I'll go down to -16, or down here in the number line. I'll put that as my key number. I'll write it really small. -17, -18. Those numbers are less than it. -15, -14. Just be careful with those negatives. I see that as a common mistake. Remember, here's my key number. If I want numbers that are less than -16, that means that those numbers are more negative. So just kind of keep that in mind. It's greater than or equal to, so I'm going to circle it and shade in that circle, and I want numbers that are greater than. So I want to shade towards the positive, towards -14, 13, 12, 11, 10, all the way up to 0 and into the positive numbers. So that's the way I'll shade. On the second side, again, if you have the second side and you're looking at the error analysis problems, a little help for those. Take a look at them, both of them, as opposed to, you know how we always, when we're solving these problems, you guys, we like put the work right underneath. On these problems, they didn't do that, but that's not what's wrong. Notice how they wanted to, in this side, we would subtract 8 from both sides. So they just put it right next to the number. Okay, and then on the other side, well, they tried to do it too, but maybe you can notice that's kind of the problem, right? Look what they did. As opposed to subtracting 8 like they were from both sides, they on the other side, then they added. So I think that may be the error there, so I kind of key in on that, and you can figure out what the real answer should be then. But there's kind of the problem. Same thing in this one, though, again, pointing out, besides maybe switching the variable to the other side, usually we would put the plus 14 right underneath, right? Well, in this case, though, what they did is on the next line, and this is correct, they put the plus 14 just next to each one of them, just so you can kind of see that they did the step we would usually do, but they just put it next to the number. That is a way you can show the work as well, okay? Then they get down to their answer, and we could spin this whole thing around just for them right now. I'd say x is greater than or equal to -3. And as you look at that and look at the graph, maybe you can figure out what the issue was. Okay, just mentioning something here for 3, 4, 5, and 6. Again, I'm not going to do these because I kind of showed already in the video how these work, but you will notice that on 2 of these problems, okay, 2 of these problems in 3, 4, 5, and 6 are ones that you end up using the special, the kind of the glitch rule, the special rule for inequalities, where you will divide or multiply by a negative number. See if you can even figure out just by looking right now which ones are those. There's 2 of them where you will need to turn it around. And by turn it around, I don't mean like number 6 here. Number 6, right, because it's the variable's on the right side, okay, this doesn't mean turning the variable or inequality around just because of something we did. We're just turning it around because it's a little easier to deal with on the left. But even now, as you look at these 4 problems, as I rewritten that one, 2 of them, you will end up turning inequality around because you divided by a negative, okay? See if you can figure out which 2 they are. Good luck. Okay, now on this last one, it says in aerial ski competitions, athletes perform 2 acrobatic jumps, or ski jumps, and the scores on both jumps are added together. The table shows your competitors' first and second scores and your first score. So they've made both their jumps right here, and then you've made one of your jumps so far over here, and you're about to make the second one. You're trying to figure out how much are you going to need to beat them, okay? Well, as it kind of says here, if you need to figure out what you need for your next score to beat them, you're going to have to add their scores together, right? So just starting, I'm not going to do the whole problem, but you would have to take their scores and add them together. 127.04 plus 129.98, okay? And then we want to know, okay, hopefully, that's the competitor scores. I think I'll slide to the left here just to say, well, we want your scores to be bigger, right? So you want to win this competition. So we want your score, your 129.49 plus your next score, which they just have a question mark here, but you can think like that's like our variable x, okay? So you're going to add your 2 scores together, and you want them to be bigger or greater than, right? You want to win this competition. So your scores added together need to beat their scores added together, okay? From here, you can draw your line and keep solving, and you'll be able to answer some of the questions that they have in A and B.